Dear iLRN participants, in this short video, I will present the work of the paper entitled Evaluating the Impact of Multimodal Collaborative Virtual Environments on a User's Spatial Knowledge and Experience of Gamified Educational Tasks, that has been authored by Ioannis Doumanis from University of Central Lancashire and Daphne Economou from the University of Westminster in the UK. The key questions that this study is looking is the impact of multimodal real-time interaction and user spatial knowledge after completing gamified educational tasks in a virtual environment. In real life, we acquire knowledge of space from the surrounding environment, based on which we create mental maps to find our way from one place to another. We store this information and we are able to direct others to places we are familiar, but we cannot necessarily see, and we can also recommend shorter routes. Although virtual reality imitates reality, wayfinding in virtual environment is quite difficult. There's plenty of evidence in the literature that virtual environments can foster spatial knowledge of spaces in human users. However, there are very few studies indicating the impact of multimodal real-time interaction in user spatial knowledge after completing gamified educational tasks in the virtual environment, and how the factors of multimodal real-time interaction and gamification can affect and possibly increase mental awareness and a deeper feeling of immersion. So this study forms 4 hypotheses. Comparing the virtual environment that fully enables multimodal interaction with a web platform, looking if it matters if users are involved in group activity or individual activity, looking if the use of the multimodal collaborative virtual environment supports users to create presentations in group tasks, and finally looking if the users of a web platform support better, the use of a web platform supports better users to complete individual tasks, especially if it provides if they have to provide public presentations due to the fact that users may feel safer to express themselves using text messages. So the activities that have been planned to answer the research questions follow a theoretical framework that involves 4 stages of perceiving a physical space, starting from the perceiver having a vague awareness of the environment based on sensory information, moving to adding spatial characteristics to the perceptual set, then recognizing and specifying the relevant attributes of the objects, and finally being able to identify and attach meaning to a perceived object. Now, to address this research question and evaluate the hypothesis, we created a study that engaged users in an educational activity which required engaging them to explore a virtual environment, depicting a virtual gallery, to locate specific objects and give a presentation to others about those objects. And the students had to compete with each other for creating the best presentation and rate each other's presentation. After completing a task, the participants were asked to sketch a map on a sheet of paper, illustrating the virtual space and locate the objects in it. To assist them with this process, the teachers that they were coordinating this activity provided a printed card to the students containing information about the objects they were looking to find in the environment. So the tools that we used to set up this study was a multimedia and multimodal VR platform called REVERIE that allows synchronous communication and interaction, that users are represented by fully puppeted virtual humans or replicas. It supports special 3D sounds. It supports emotional recognition and much more functionality. And we compared this platform to a web platform called the Edu-Simulation that can be used to organize any role-play simulation. It allows synchronous and asynchronous communication, private and public communication, and it allows the organization of students in groups and the dissemination of material. So all the activities that we ran in the study, they have been planned using these platforms. Now, a controlled environment using those platforms was set for conducting the study simulating an actual classroom environment in two schools in the UK. 42 participants took part in the study involving secondary school teachers and students, all of them English speakers that had a variety of familiarity with video games and social networking media. We split these groups into 6 students and 1 teacher. The study aimed to evaluate the special knowledge required by participants after completing a gamified educational task using REVERIE or Edu-Simulation. Additionally, we wanted to evaluate the user experience of the multimodal collaborative virtual environment, as its success in conveying spatial knowledge depends on the usability of the system and the cognitive accessibility of the educational tasks. So we planned an individual task where each student had to present an object to their classmates to inform them about its artistic and cultural value. And another group task where the students had to decide with which of the objects they would have to, that has been assigned to them, they would prefer to work, and compose a short description and present it to others. The study collected a number of objective measures, including task completion rates, task completion time, user error, rating, user presentations, and sketch maps. And also it created collected various subjective measures, such as user spatial knowledge of the virtual gallery, virtual reality user experience, quality of user virtual representations in the virtual environment, referring to human representation and quality of objects. Now, what were the main outputs of this study? The use of the 2 different platforms made no difference to the task completion. All users completed the task in both platforms. User error was higher in REVERIE, the virtual environment, which was mainly related to navigational issues, which is something quite known and expected in VR. The use of multimodal collaborative virtual environments, the use of multimodal collaborative virtual environments did not benefit the students' spatial performance, but it helped them to have a more positive experience of the educational tasks. Teachers showed preference to the web platform because they were more able to monitor and control the activities and the students' progress. The task variation, individual versus group, had no impact on how users perceived the cognitive accessibility and usability of the virtual platforms, and participants perceived the spontaneity and the responses with other participants. So possible avenues for future work is merging the features of the 2 platforms in a hybrid platform. This, coupled with the commercialization of VR headsets, could have a significant positive impact on user experience and ability to retain spatial knowledge from the virtual environments. So in our paper, we demonstrate how this study evaluated the impact of multimodal collaborative virtual environments and gamification on user spatial knowledge. We hope to see you in our live session during the conference to discuss further our work and to answer your questions related to this study. Thank you for watching this video.